Well, I was going to have to apologise for the flash on this one. It's very dark in this room, can't get the lighting quite right, so it might reflect off the packaging. But anyway, this is going to be a review of this. Literally, this isn't bacon rashers, so some kind of fake bacon, faken, whatever you want to call it. I just saw it in the shops and I thought I'd give it a try because I tried faking when it first came out, and yeah, it was kind of reminded me of the stuff you get in like a kid's toy kitchen, whereas this is probably 10-15 years on, so or more. Let's see how this turns out. So first of all, looking at the packaging, I mean, I'm not a sucker for marketing gumph, and that's what this looks like to me. You know, it's sort of got this white plain packaging that's kind of a modern thing, I think. And then all this guff on the back. I call it guff, but you know, it's a bit like Oatly, barista milk, or the Oatly brand, and all the stuff they write, all the nonsense they write on the packaging there to make it seem a bit different. I'm not swayed by that, but it sells, doesn't it? So I guess it works for some people. Anyway, aside from that, let's look at the ingredients here. So we've got water, so you can see that, water, soy protein, concentrate, soy protein, isolate, pea protein, vegetable extract. So, I mean, there's a fair, I'm sure it's not super unhealthy, but you know, there's quite a lot of ingredients in there, so that's the first thing to note. But soy is the base. I guess the most important thing is how this tastes at the end of the day. Packaging wise, you know, this is obviously selling itself as a sustainable, natural, vegan type food. Well, the first problem we've got, of course, we've got cardboard packaging, that's fine, but look on the back there. Film, don't recycle. They actively tell you to not recycle it. I think you might be able to recycle this in one of the supermarket bags now, in the containers we have in the UK now, where you can put plastic bags and things. It's not really clear whether that's considered soft plastic, but it is a bit tough. So yeah, that's a real negative for me. You know, we have to stop using plastic. Even if it's biodegradable plastic, that would be better, but we've got to stop using this stuff. So anyway, let's open up the packaging and take a look inside. Seems to have some blood, vegetable blood. I didn't do a very good job of that, did I? I mean, this is really thick packaging, isn't it? I just can't get into it. Anyway, stop moaning, just get on with it. So texture-wise, it feels a bit, it's quite solid. It's not like, obviously it doesn't seem like bacon at all. Do they recommend any way of cooking this? For best results, pan fry 1 teaspoon or 3 to 5 minutes. So let's do that. Let's not mess with what they recommend. So I just have to come back to this packaging thing. In the part, I know what a lot of these companies will say is, oh, we're just starting up, we just got to do it cheap enough to, you know, so we can make a profit, and then eventually we'll do the right thing. But I don't know, in this day and age, biodegradable plastics have been around. I remember the Co-op did biodegradable plastic bags 20 years ago. That's how long, I mean, that's how long commercially they've been around. I'm sure they've been around a lot longer than that. So they are certainly cheap by now, biodegradable plastics, bioplastics, whatever you want to call them. There's no need for this, I think. We'll take a look at this certified B Corporation. We're very well behaved business, so I'm sure they're trying to purport to be some sort of sustainable product, but we'll look into that. I don't want to judge them completely just yet. Okay, so we've got our hot oil, and just going to chuck those in. Sticking already. The oil's a bit hot. So it's just 3 to 5 minutes. So I'm not going to bore you with the whole cooking process. We'll come back to that when they've had 3 or 4 minutes. Right, so I've done them as, I quite like crispy bacon. I've done them as crispy as I can, but they're still, you know, a bit floppy. But they smell very bacony, but it's not that hard to recreate these days. So let's give them a try. Okay, here we go. I think if you put it in something else, like a burger, or you know, like as in like a bacon burger, putting bacon with a beef burger, you might get away with it. It's definitely way better than Facon used to be. It's chewy, but I think if you really think about it, you wouldn't mistake it for bacon. But that's not really the point, I suppose. The point is it edible? Does it taste nice, right? It's alright, it's alright. For some strange reason, I don't like the sort of oval shape of it. I think if it was flatter and wider, like a piece of bacon, I think I prefer it. It's just so sort of thick in the middle. It just, you know, it's a texture thing. It just sort of feels a bit weird. It is quite chewy. So yeah, it's not, I mean, you know, these things are meant to be fake meats. Probably, I'm not a big fan of them anyway. I think we should just either eat meat or not eat meat and just have some really good vegan food. So yeah. I'll give it a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Nah, 6 out of 10. I should actually add a caveat to that. I wouldn't say all fake things are terrible. And let me just clarify that. So, burgers are a classic example. You get a lot of good vegetable burgers, the ones that are, say, just potato, vegetables, and breadcrumbs on the outside. Maybe a bit of cheese inside. And some of the other plant-based burgers, they're not highly processed and they're good in their own right. I think maybe they should just be calling them like patties rather than burgers. So I wouldn't say all, you know, pretend things are bad. It's just the ones that are really, really trying to be the real deal, and they have to put an awful lot of ingredients in and process it very highly too. And we always know processed foods. It's just, you know, a fact. Processed foods, highly processed foods, are not good for you, or not as good for you as non-processed. So, yeah. And sausages, kind of the same. You know, there are some good vegan, vegetarian sausages out there that you could just call like a I don't know, a sausage-shaped patty. I mean, but this thing, I've eaten it all. It's but bit processed, but not too bad. So I decided to email these guys, and they responded pretty quickly. They're saying that they don't have an external report at this stage, so they may do in the future, but we can have a look at the scoring on the B Corp website, which we can look at in a sec. As far as the packaging is concerned, that's scored under the sustainability and environmental impact, and they're looking to, reduce their plastic use in the future. Although, I mean, you look at a normal pack of bacon, it just has the plastic. This has plastic and cardboard, so that they've got more packaging than a normal bacon, and it's thicker plastic, and you can't recycle it. But they're saying the vast majority of products are packaged in mostly recycled and recyclable packaging. So they list the other products: chicken, sausage, etc., etc. They're packed in cardboard with a recyclable plastic tray and a non-recyclable film. So it looks like they want to make some changes, but I just don't see why it had to be, this poor to begin with. I could understand some level of startup, some teething problems, but okay. So we're looking at the overall impact score now. So they've got 89.3, which presumably is out of 100, and they're saying the median score for an ordinary business is about 50. So, and when you go down here, you see it covers all sorts of things. It's not just about the environment; it's about worker welfare, so forth. And it's saying the only one I can find is environmental management 2.9, environment 30. I'm not sure what that means, but let's look at the report, because it doesn't seem to say anything here about the plastic packaging, where she said it did. So let's have a look in the actual disclosure materials. So I've had a quick look through this already, and the only section is here under industry and products. Please indicate if the company is involved in production or trade of any of the following: energy and emission intensive industries. They're saying no. Well, I would argue that plastic which comes from oil is energy and emissions intensive. So, and fossil fuels right underneath it says no. Well, that's not true, is it? I don't know how they're rating this, but I'm taking this whole B Corp thing with a pinch of salt. It's not quite got the gravitas of the fair trade logo yet. So yeah, I'm reserving judgment on them and this company, Plant Meat Limited. That's what they're actually called. So anyway, guys, I hope this was interesting, only in the sense that you could look up other companies like this and see what their actual rating is. But yeah, I do wish these guys all the best, and I would say give it a try, but don't have too high expectations. So yeah, cheers.